A very warm welcome to you, Mr. To FAMSN First. Let me just give you a perspective what we're trying to do. In FAMSN First, we're trying to introduce people who have wide knowledge about the industry, especially about the feed bale industry, grain industry, silos industry. And we want to bring the knowledge directly to the audience. That is our motives. You've been heading FAMSN for a very long time, I believe now. Your country had FAMSN. And I believe this is a great opportunity for us to share what are your plans, what are FAMSN's plans to the Indian industry. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Arun, once again.
Okay, Naveen, first of all, thank you so much for this series. It's a good initiative that you've taken and you've held on and brought it to the next level. Thank you so much. I feel lucky to be a part of this organization and to have held this position, and also lucky that we have such a good, beautiful team behind me. Yes, it's been quite a long journey in this industry. It was a little bit of a tough task in the beginning, but then off late it's good, the market is good, and the scenarios have been better, much better as compared to before.
Fantastic. We'll deep dive into the market, your understanding about it a little later. But I firstly want to understand from you your journey, Arun. How you started your journey, your career. From where did you start? I believe you belong to Bangalore only. You're born and brought up here only.
Yes, I do belong to Bangalore, one of the most beautiful cities in India. I did my engineering in Ramaya College, passed out in 2005. Since then, I worked in different industries. It was pneumatic industries to begin with. Then it was automobile industry with production hardening machines manufacturer. Then it was gear motor industry, where I had to get into almost all the sectors. So here I feel lucky that I got a chance to have a look about all the industries on the mechanical side. After that, it was again food and agri sector, a short stint in an MNC. Then after this, it was FAMSN. So by the time I got into FAMSN, I had a taste of all the industries, how things were working, and it was like a good journey for me to take up big projects.
Great. And your basic involvement in last decade, I believe, have been into feeding industry, is it majorly?
It's been more into feed mill industries and also into grain storage silos.
Okay.
Feed mill industry mainly into poultry, cattle, aqua. In aqua, we have fish and shrimp. For FAMSN, we hold a major market share in fish and shrimp, and followed by poultry and cattle. But we are yet to make inroads again into poultry and cattle. Grain storage silos was a bit dull because we really didn't have market presence in the beginning. This is about 5-6 years back. But the last 3 to 4 years have been really good. The Indian government has been making different schemes to have grain storage silos. This has really helped FAMSN to gain more market share in silos. So yes, it's both. I would say 80% of feed mill and then 20% of grain storage silos.
You talked about that there are various segments in feed industry. You talked about poultry industry, aqua. Let us deep dive a bit into these industries. What is the current performance of aqua industry in India? How the industry is performing as a whole, right? As a complete value chain. And are there any current challenges which are there, and how you're trying to overcome FAMSN in the company you're trying to overcome them?
To talk about aqua sector in detail, I would keep it very simple so that everybody understands, even a common man will be able to understand it.
Right.
Talking about fish industry, it was better about a few years back, about 4 to 5 years back. But after that, it went stagnant. And even now, it's a little stagnant. Plus, there is also a back support from the Indian government. It's called Blue Revolution. So there's a lot of subsidies going in and good schemes have been charted out. So this is helping medium and small scale farmers to have their own feed mill.
Okay.
What they need is good quality machines. If they are exposed to technology, machines and automation, I'm sure this will also get down to the small and the medium scale enterprises, where people will be independent, they'll have their own feed mills, and they'll be able to have their own cultures, feeding their own cultures. So fish has been pretty decent, unlike shrimp. Talking about shrimp industry, it is still going through a down phase. There was a very good phase about 4-5 years back, but then again, the downfall started due to various reasons. Could be medicines, could be less exports outside India. Then yet to recover. Things are a little better, but yet to recover. I feel this will take another 1 or 2 years to recover back.
Okay. So you're saying that fish is little better than shrimp currently in the market. Is that so? Or both are
Yes.
more or less on the same stage?
No, I would say fish is a little better compared to shrimp feed industry.
And what about the consumption pattern of various parts of the country? For example, I believe in northern area, the consumption pattern of consuming fish and shrimp is very different to the southern part of India, right? Does that play some role into it?
I would say to a certain extent, yes.
Okay.
Fish is more or less into the coastal areas,
Right.
where you have the natural catch from the sea.
Okay.
And shrimp is still not a common food in India.
True.
I would say it's still a delicacy for normal families.
Okay.
Once the domestic consumption increase, I feel the industry will also have a better face.
Okay.
Now mainly shrimp is more of export market, whereas fish is again domestic consumption. And if we try to improve the supply chain management, I'm sure even the fish industry will improve a lot. And if farmers are supplemented with good technology, good machinery, and more information on the nutrition side, I think they'll be more independent to handle their own business.
How do you see the poultry sector as a whole and the consumption pattern happening in India and the drivers?
I would answer this more from a machinery manufacturer point of view.
Okay.
For us, the industry has been good, except for a few pandemics in between, COVID in between. Except for that, poultry industry has always been stable for us. And there are big players, medium players, small players. Everybody have their own share. And for the public as well, for the general public as well, I think chicken is well accepted. It's a major source of protein. Eggs are well accepted. There was a big revolution where everybody believes in it now. And this has taken chicken, eggs to probably every household now. And it's well accepted everywhere across the country. It's due to this that, we have a good business going around. And we have quite a lot of Indian manufacturers, machine manufacturers, and they're also pretty doing well. This, I think, is bread and butter for us. And we need to have more focus, probably improve our machinery a little more, and then we are ready to indigenize a little bit.
Okay.
We are ready to.
If you see as a picture as a whole, feed mill industry, we see poultry leading both in certain sense. One definitely in value chain, in the complete money-wise value also, right? And cattle is lagging behind. Poultry is a little more organized. Why it is so? I really would like to understand.
Okay, this is again a limitation geographically.
Okay.
If you look at aqua, it's more concentrated towards the coastal lines.
Right.
So that is where the water, the salinity helps it. Whereas if you come for chicken, it's not a constraint at all. Right. Chicken can be anywhere, even in the middle part, even in the northern part, except for the extreme climates, chicken is absolutely fine.
Right.
Cattle, from the beginning, if you go to the past, people always believed in green fodder. We did not have this habit of, having a compound feed for cattle.
Right.
It's just in the past few years that probably the green fodder has come down, and then this compound feed, belief in the compound feed has increased. This will go on. But because poultry had already gained this advantage, this mileage, so it has taken a step forward. And also the value chain, the supply chains for poultry industry was a little more advanced as compared to cattle and fish. This is the answer behind it.
I totally agree. I want to understand how machinery evolved, how machines, how automation, these things are helping the industry to grow.
Automation, not just in this industry, with respect to other industries, also very important. Talking about the poultry industry, our animal feed industry especially, we've not been able to, integrate what happens at the farm level and what has been happening at the machinery level. That's the factory level. So if we are able to integrate both these, give it to the investor, give him ready-made reports, I feel this will improve a lot. This will really help him a lot. This will give him more confidence to do further investments. Now things are taking a fast track now. There are quite a good amount of softwares being developed. Example, even FAMSIN has the latest software, which is based on artificial intelligence, whether it is related to grain storage silos or animal feed machinery. We are able to integrate farm level, factory level, and the office level setups, generate reports and give it to the investor. So yes, it's a requirement, and we've been successful in doing this as well.
What are the different kind of feeds we talk about generally, which goes into the various industries, whether it is fish, poultry, or cattle, and how efficiently machines are kind of helping to create that feed?
The major feed is poultry feed. of course. Then comes fish and shrimp. Then comes cattle feed. Apart from this, we also have pet food. I think these days the sentiment with pet is also gaining. So pet food is also a major part of it. There are other feeds, could be like swine feed, but it's not really caught up to that level.
Right.
Having good machines to make these feeds are more important, because ultimately it's the nutrition that matters, and having a well-balanced nutritional formula is more important. So investing in good machines is very important.
I'm sure there are different type of poultry feeds, right? What are those different kind of feeds in poultry? Similarly, I'll also like to understand other segments also. So what are those feeds which have been produced by the machines?
To keep it very simple, you have the chicken. It's called the day-old chick, DOC, day-old chick. It's very small, and as it grows, the feed size has to be less. Like how you feed infants with softer food or small-sized food. So we make a compound feed. We break them into smaller granules. You can't make smaller granules. It's not very economical. So you make a bigger size feed, which has got all the nutrition in it, and then you break them into small granules. So this is called pre-starter, when the chick is very small. Then as in when it grows, we have the starter feed. The granule size is a little more bigger, but still it has the complete nutritional value. And finally, during the last 15 days or last 20 days, we give it something called the finisher feed. So these are the three phases. You have pre-starter, starter and finisher. Everything will have its own nutritional values, but complete nutrition. But it's just the size is what that varies.
How much time does it takes for a chicken to become a broiler complete for consumption? How many days does it take?
Usually it's 35 to 40 days range, 35 to 40 days.
And these nutrients and these feeds, they have immense value to add on to it, in fact, for the faster growth and all, I believe.
I mean, it's a gradual growth, and it is well controlled by the nutrition and the nutritionists behind it. So it's a gradual growth.
Now I want to shift the gears. I want to understand how has been Famson's story in last 1 decade, how you have driven it. I think you're the first employee of Famson, right, in India. So I want to understand that journey, how you have done it. What are challenges you faced on your path, on your way to bring Famson to this level?
I'd be very happy to answer this, because it's been quite a long journey and personal experience to share with this friend. Famson, in the beginning, when I joined this company as the first employee, feed mill was the first task. So since this is a Chinese company, there was a lot of notion that, Chinese company, you won't have enough good service, you won't have people to back you up. Probably your machines are a lot more thinner as compared to Indian machines. They're not more sturdy. So many questions. But then luckily, there were a few installations, and the installations were running well, and they're running even till today. So this was an answer. But as a representative, I had to do a lot of talking, and then channelize all my energies, people behind me, resources from the head office, to gain trust. And then there were a few breakthroughs in the beginning, feed mill. But this really took time, about 2 to 3 years to have a good 2 or 3 breakthroughs. But fish feed was doing really well. The extruder machine is our biggest USP, and this had already made a big breakthrough in the Indian market.
Okay.
So this helped us gain more confidence. Okay. Slowly, we also increased our team from 2 to 3 employees. Now we are a team size of about 30 people, where it is equally divided between the silos and the feed mill as well. And having worked in different companies, seen different work cultures, here in Famson, it's work and gain your customers' trust, back them up by service. So this is everything to us. Okay. The team behind us, the team with us now, I really appreciate everybody. Everybody who've been given their responsibilities, they've been doing very honestly, very prominently, and they have worked. Again, going back to myself, silos also was a big task. Initially, when I went around in the southern part of India, talking about silos, at those times, competitors were well established, and we were still in the GI technology. So in the last few years, again, we've shifted from GI to manuals. So this has given us a more advantage. And yes, the efforts that were put at those times, now I think we have a real good team, to back it up and to bring it to this level. And even the market is very supportive. So it has helped us to come to this level.
Great. But I've seen that, in certain companies, when you got your parent company outside India, right? In this case, in our case, I believe it is China, right? So head office in China. Right? It is sometimes difficult to get the right support. How that journey has been, getting support from China. I'm sure you're calling for quotations from China also. There would be a lot of teams changing in China also. You'll be one person here. How that interaction have been with you?
I will basically divide this into two parts: sales, projects, and after service. And I will also answer this from an investor point of view, not from a Famson representative point of view. Okay. An investor basically looks at sales. He wants to buy some new machinery. So that is where making quotations, talking to him, giving him the new technology, and explaining what strengths you have. This is what matters. And all this has to be done quickly, understanding his investment patterns. Quotations are done in the head office in China, and we have specific people to do it. As an employee, whoever comes into Famson as an employee, we need to understand our strengths, people behind us, and then use them to serve your positions, to make the right decisions in the Indian market. So once you understand your organization, your people, I'm sure it will be a very smooth road for you. So talking about the sales, there are effective people. We have different departments: quotation department, a design department. These two departments work hand in hand. The design departments help us to make proper flow charts. Right. The flow charts are first clarified, whether it is silos or animal feed mill or even the oil sector. We make flow charts first.
Right.
Flow charts are first discussed with customer in detail, and once we have an approval, we go ahead for the quotation.
Okay.
So quotations are done in detail. We've even improved the way we make quotations as compared to before. Now our quotations are more detailed.
Okay.
And after that, it comes to projects and service. Even in projects and service, we have our Chinese experts who have stayed in India. They've got working visas. They've stayed in India. They transfer knowledge from the head office to our Indian teams here. Even new joinees, they are guided, they are helped, they are taken to the site, taught there well. And these are the people. We have the experts in projects and service who impart knowledge to our Indian team. And Indian team is also good enough, talented, they've picked up very quickly. Wonderful. And now they are independent, they're handling everything.
Chinese products in India generally been perceived as something which is not top quality. Generally, Indian perception has been that European products, American products, those machineries are better. How did you break through this mindset? How did you break through this psychology in your industry?
It's very important to believe in your company and in the products. Yes, there are different kinds of markets in China as well. Not just in China, world over, for different markets. There are different grades. When you come back to China, talking about Famson, we started in 1967 and started off with hammer mill as our first machine. Since then, the company has grown. It was invested in R&D. It's invested in people outside the Chinese market and even in the Chinese market. The performance of machines are really good. So my belief, my faith in the machines, and after the machines are in place in the factory, the way it used to run and the way people back me up, the technology behind it, all this has really given me more confidence and faith. So this is being transformed to my customers, to the people I talk to.
So whenever somebody is asking you that your company is from China and is the product would be equivalent or is it better than what I'm getting from Europe or what I'm getting from Indian manufacturers, how do you answer it?
With all due respect to the manufacturers inside India, outside India, I would rather not compare unless and until it is asked in detail. I would rather not compare. I would only stick on to the products that we have in our portfolio, the strengths and USPs of the products of our company. So this is where my focus will be more into. Like I told, hammer mill was our first machine for Famson. So animal feed machinery has been our bread and butter. And since the company's inception, research and development persistently on the products This is our biggest USP. And because there was R&D, even till today, our machines are performing very well. And small misconceptions like, thickness or service, this has been improved gradually. The bottom line, or to answer it in a single line, I see the research and development, the development that Samsung has put into the machines and the results that we've obtained in the factories, this is the answer to it.
The second part to this question is, there is another stigma which Indian consumer have, and that is service. Because it would be really difficult for any company to provide, and especially the companies outside India. Because even if you train people here in India, would they be trained well enough to service them? That would be first question coming in their mind. How do you answer these questions to the Indian consumer when you're meeting them, especially when they're talking about how you're going to provide good service to the product which you're selling to us?
This really needs an investment. You can't just talk about service without people, or this is not like other industries where you can give online support. You really need to have people putting their hands into the machines and solving problems. So this is the kind of industry that we are. We've taken in people, and when we take in people, we make sure that people have good prior experience related to the industry. Plus, we have important people, like I said, domain experts inside Samsung, who are well versed with our machines, technology, and what is happening in the market. So we have this knowledge imparted to our service engineers. And when they go to the factories, we train them on the machines in the factories. They've been confident. We've chosen good people, and they're really doing well. They've understood the machines, they've understood the technology behind it, variations in formulations, they've been able to adapt and suggest good suggestions to customers as well. I will add on to this. Spare parts, availability of spare parts is also a biggest question of food. Now slowly we've started investing in this. We've had a pretty simple go where we stock essential spares. And this is at Hyderabad, right close to our office at Hyderabad. So we stock the essential spares. And for the other spare parts, our service engineer, whenever he goes to the customer, he makes sure he checks what is the available spare parts, what is required in the future, and what is the running life. He gives a complete analysis to the customers.
Wonderful. If I may ask you, what is the turnaround time for any service engineer if any problem happens in the setup or in the machine? What approximately turnaround time is?
What we have done is, we have technology, we have WhatsApp groups right now. So this is an initiative that we took. As soon as the order is accounted into Samsung, we create a WhatsApp group with the customer, which helps us to discuss with the customer right from the stage when the machinery is being manufactured, our shipping schedule. We share everything on this WhatsApp group. We even involve customers, service engineers on this.
Right.
So WhatsApp group is the first point of contact. If there's a problem, customer will post it on the group, and first thing that we do is immediately respond in the group. And this response is quicker. And if there's a need, I would say the turnaround time is probably 1 day. We are located at Hyderabad. Wow. If there are places which can be reached in about few hours, we are there in few hours. Hyderabad, close by surrounding places, Vijayawada. We are there in about 6 to 7 hours. Otherwise, maximum 1 day.
So if there's a problem in Far East, maybe in Guwahati or maybe even further than that, how much maximum time your service team will take to reach that place?
Our office is at Hyderabad, and most of the service engineers are at different site locations. So even if they are at Hyderabad, I would say farthest place, let's say Guwahati, I think 1 day, maximum 1 day. Kolkata we've reached on the same day or maximum the next day. Down south, Erode, we've reached the next day, and it's been good. I would say the maximum is 1 day, practically.
That is 24 hours?
24 hours.
Wonderful. Great. Arun, this is a general question which I see commonly among the people who are trying to set up a new plant, especially about the extruder. What is the difference between a single screw extruder and a double screw extruder?
It's a very common question, especially in the floating fish feed industry. People are new to the industry or setting up plants. They are confused between a single screw extruder and a twin screw extruder.
Okay.
Or the question is, why should we use a twin screw extruder? Okay. And what are the uses? Keep it very simple, especially for the farmers. I would say A single screw extruder is the most simplest extruder, and it satisfies the Indian formulation requirements. And if your feed sizes are anywhere between 1.2 mm, smallest, to maximum can go up to 3, 4. There's no limitation on the maximum feed size.
Okay.
So the limitation is only on the minimum feed size, the smallest feed size. So if your smallest feed size is 1.2 mm, even 1 mm rather, then you can easily go in for a single screw extruder. But if your market requirement and your feed size requirement is less than 1.2 mm, let's say 0.8 mm, 0.6 mm, 1 mm consistently,
Okay.
then it is suggested to go for a twin screw extruder.
Okay.
This is one point.
Okay.
Second point, if your formulations are very tough, you have a lot of fiber content, more oil content, more fat content, some special formulations for fishes like sea bass or different species. In such cases, you might need a twin screw extruder. So these are the major limiting factors between single screw and twin screw. I think the biggest factor is the feed size. I think it's simple and clear.
We are more or less at the end of the session now. I want to understand your point of view about the Indian feed mill industry, especially silo industry. Where the industry is moving currently? Where do you see the industry moving in future?
Talking about the poultry industry, I think this is more organized as compared to other industries. More focus on the raw material side, on the grains would help. Cattle feed industry, people are gaining more knowledge about the use of feed as compared to before. So it's improving.
Okay.
Fish feed mainly depends on the domestic consumption.
Right.
Again, if the raw material prices can be controlled, it's good. Shrimp depends on the export market. We don't really have a big say on that. So just needs time, about 2 to 3 years.
And
Ethanol industry has been catching up. So grain-based ethanol factories are coming up now. This is also backed up by government schemes. So this is one sector that is also improving, which needs a lot of grain storage silos and grain milling equipment. That is hammer mills, cleaners and hammer mills.
I believe a lot of government push is there in ethanol industry. And government is giving a lot of subsidies, and probably it is good for milling as well as for silos. I believe that is two things which FAMSIN is also pushing in India. So how do you see it as a game changer? Where do you see, which section do you see kind of taking the lead in ethanol?
FAMSIN point of view, I think the use of silos, grain storage silos, because storing grains for a longer period of time, this becomes a big challenge. Availability of grain becomes a big challenge. So storing them for your own production plants is the most important. So having bigger storage capacities is more important without wastage. And then when it comes to cleaning, again, we have the cleaning section and the milling section, the hammer mills. So these are the products where we pitch into the ethanol industry. So again, the usage of these two products with ethanol industry coming in is a big game changer for the machinery manufacturers. Plus, we also believe in indigenization. So if this can happen, I think we have a long way.
This is my last question to you, Arun. It's been around 15 years plus for FAMSIN in India. Where do you see how FAMSIN is going to kind of cover the path in next 3 years, 5 years? That is one point I want to understand. How FAMSIN is moving ahead in India. What are FAMSIN's plans for Indian market? That is one. And you have been at the leadership position in FAMSIN for quite some time already. How are you going to drive it in this journey?
The future is actually very good. The market is good, supportive. Management and the head office has a lot of faith in the country and also the team in India. And the team is also doing very well. Every one of us, I think, is talented. They're doing the duty perfectly. So it's good. Now, the need of the hour is indigenization. We have to indigenize a few equipment here, and we are in the path of that. Probably we will be opening more offices in India, probably another 2 or 3, along with this office that we already have at Hyderabad, and increase the employee strength. Now we are a team size of about 25 people. Probably this will go on to 100 plus in the coming years, 3 to 5 years maximum.
25 is only the sales team? Is the service team separate? It's like combined?
It's combined.
Okay.
Sales, service, projects,
Right.
and design as well,
Okay.
including the HR and finance.
Right.
So 100 plus is also going to be a combination of all the departments put together. This is in the span of 3 to 5 years. So at least 3 different offices at 3 different locations where we get more closer to the customers.
Wonderful.
Plus increase the team size from 25 to 100 plus. So this is the vision in the future, and indigenize some of our manufacturing into India.
I'm sure you're not allowed to disclose the kind of revenue Famson is generating, but whatever the value today is, where do you see in multiplication or in percentages, if you can say, maybe after 5 years? How many times will it grow in next 5 years? What do you suggest?
For the turnover that we're doing right now, in the span of 3 to 5 years, with the plans that we've already chalked out, if we are able to put them into action, at least 3 to 4 times of what we're doing right now. Considering the faith that customer has got in us, in Famson, and yes, 3 to 4 times at least.
Great, Arun. It was fantastic talking to you. You have given us so many insights. I'm sure that the audience are going to take the pointers from your whatever you have discussed with me. I'm sure they are going to be very nice insights for them, especially people who are trying to enter into the industry or trying to set up new plans. I really wish you very good luck, and I really wish Famson very good luck. I'm sure that Famson is going to be great in next 3 to 5 years, as you suggested. Any parting words you want to say?
I would definitely like to thank everybody involved or having brought me to this moment, especially the management, which has a lot of faith in the Indian team, a lot of faith in me, and every one of our customer who has trusted it so far, and of course to our competitors and everybody. It's a thank you. I just want to express my gratitude to everybody. Thank you all.